Are you sure you understand your cat? That look means guilt, that bites mean resentment, and ruined things mean revenge? Now get ready to hear the truth that could turn everything you believed about your pet upside down. Are our furry housemates capable of human emotions? Jealousy, resentment, shame, or even cold, calculated revenge? What if we try to look into a place that is usually off-limits? A cat's mind. Let's figure out what happens when a cat takes offense and why our ideas about the feline soul are only part of the picture. So, do cats feel shame and guilt? Let's be honest. We love to attribute human emotions to our pets. But here's the first important fact. Cats simply have no concept of good and evil. When a cat knocks a glass off the table, it's not hooliganism. And it's certainly not a form of protest. Rather, it's an exploration of the world. A little scientific experiment on the subject of gravity. Or simply, I'm bored, I wonder what will happen. A cat doesn't understand why one object is off limits and another is okay to touch. Why the sofa is bad, but the scratching post is good. For a cat, it's not about morality. These are just objects with varying degrees of attractiveness. If we turn to psychology, shame and guilt are complex conscious feelings. To experience them, you need to understand yourself, be able to compare your actions with rules, and think something like, I did something wrong, I will be judged. Yes, cats are aware of themselves in a sense. Moreover, it is absolutely convinced that the whole world revolves around it. But human norms and expectations are a dark forest for it. The cat would have to reason, my actions contradict the moral code of this family. You have to admit, it sounds pretty fantastical. So what does that famous guilty look mean? Ears pressed back, rounded back, eyes downcast. It looks like a sincere confession, right? In fact, what you are seeing is a subtle survival strategy. Body language says something completely different. I am small, I am harmless, please do not hurt me. The cat simply reads your irritated tone, tension, and anger. This is an automatic reaction to danger, not reflection on its misdeed. So believe me, a cat does not feel remorse for stealing a sausage. At most, it feels a slight sadness that the treat ended too quickly. What about jealousy? This is where things get more interesting. Unlike shame and guilt, many experts do admit that cats can experience jealousy. But it's important to note that this is not human jealousy with drama and thoughts like, you don't love me anymore. It's an instinct, a reaction to a threat to their usual comfort and their place in the house. You've probably noticed that as soon as you pick up your phone or open your laptop, a tail appears between you and the screen in a matter of seconds. And then a fluffy body lands on the keyboard. This is no coincidence. It's a direct message. Your attention should belong to me, not this strange piece of metal. From a cat's point of view, any newcomer is a rival. For food, for warmth, for affection, for your time. And cats don't take competition well. Aggression between pets is a common phenomenon, especially when a new furry resident appears in the house. Cats are staunch territorial creatures, and they take invasions of their turf very badly. Hence the hissing, growling, fighting, or demonstrative ignoring. The principle is simple. If I don't notice you, then you don't exist. The arrival of a child in the family is another powerful blow to a cat's sense of stability. The usual rhythm of life changes, the house fills with noise, new smells arrive, and all your attention is suddenly diverted elsewhere. For a cat, this feels like a loss of support. Jealous reactions in such situations are not uncommon. It is important to remember that cats do not make long-term plans or worry about the future. They live in the here and now. If their current comfort is threatened, their protective instincts kick in immediately. Therefore, jealousy in cats is not anger and certainly not a desire for revenge. It is an attempt to retain access to the most important things: territory, safety, resources, and of course, you. The most noticeable manifestations of such jealousy are aggression, hissing, growling, biting, scratching, attacks on other animals or even humans, and demonstrative marking. But there are also quieter signals. Stress and destructive behavior, refusal to eat or, conversely, sudden overeating. compulsive licking to the point of baldness, ignoring the litter box, desire to hide, to avoid contact, damage to furniture and objects. If you notice these signs, you can and should help your cat adapt. Don't neglect her. Try to maintain your usual level of interaction, play, pet, and talk to her. Be sure to provide a safe place where no one will disturb her. Give it time to get used to the new person or animal. Don't force it to interact right away. Use games and treats. They reduce tension and create positive associations. And most importantly, if your cat is jealous, it's not because it's mean. It's because you are an incredibly valuable resource to it. Can a cat be offended and plot revenge? No, in human terms, it cannot. It will not spend its evenings remembering who said what and devising a cunning plan of retribution. Cats do not live in the past and do not calculate the future. What we call resentment is most often just ordinary caution. You raised your voice and the cat hid and won't come out. She's not sulking. She made a simple and logical conclusion. Right now, this person is loud and potentially dangerous, so it's better to wait it out where it's safe. This is not drama. It's self-preservation. Yes, sometimes a pet's behavior looks like resentment, but almost always, there are unmet needs behind it. Fear, anxiety, and sometimes, typical cat manipulation. Imagine, a cat urgently needs something very important to her: food, play, your attention, or access to a mysterious portal behind the closet. If the signal is not understood or you ignore it, she may bite sharply, swat with her paw, or demonstratively run away. Not because it is offended, but because its need has not been met, and it simply cannot find another way to convey its message. If the cat disappears after crying out, it is not because it is offended. It is a survival strategy. It is better to keep your distance from this creature right now. It is not angry. It is avoiding the source of the unpleasant experience. And now, the most popular myth: cat revenge. How else can you explain when your pet tears up furniture out of spite, ignores the litter box, or suddenly chooses your slippers as a toilet? Remember, cats do not seek revenge. Their minds simply do not have the capacity for complex, delayed plans for retribution. The scenario, no pâté in the morning, sneakers suffer in the evening, is impossible for a cat's brain. They live in the moment, and there is almost always a specific, rational reason for every mischief they are scolded for. Stress, pain, moving, conflict with another animal, unsuitable litter box or litter. Markings and puddles in the wrong place are not a protest or mischief. If a cat avoids the litter box, it may simply be in pain, or it may not like the new litter. And the puddle on your bed? Most often it's a way to calm down by mixing its scent with yours. When scared, a cat surrounds itself with things that smell like home. This is not sabotage. It's a desperate signal. I'm not feeling well. I'm trying to cope. Attempts to shame, yell, or physically punish, especially the infamous nose poking, don't work. Moreover, they increase anxiety and destroy trust. A frightened cat will not understand what exactly was wrong. It will remember only one thing: humans have become dangerous. Instead of punishment, something else is important. Calm your pet down. Show them that they are safe. Give them personal space if necessary, and try to figure out what exactly disrupted the harmony of their cozy world. So what does that mean? Are our cats cold creatures without feelings or morals? Of course not. It's just that their universe is more honest than ours. There is no place in it for deceit, lingering resentment, or the desire to cause pain out of spite. Yes, a cat does not feel guilty for breaking a vase, but it feels your love. It does not know how to take revenge, but it knows how to trust. And if your pet comes up to you in the evening, turns on its purring motor, and quietly buries its nose in your palm, know this: it is not a calculation or an attempt at manipulation. It is the purest and most sincere form of affection that a living creature is capable of.